morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we've got more very cool products that are going to make you very jealous, and I feel extremely confident that basically every single person watching is going to have the same question. Well, I'm going to answer that question to the best of my ability as well. So what we've got are what I think is probably referred to as first partner blisters, which are coming around in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And these are beautiful. Now, of course, talking Hong Kong, Taiwan, we are talking traditional Chinese, not simplified Chinese. Remember, they are very much not the same. And what we've got here are ways to get some brand new EXs, which is lovely, and some ways to get some brand new illustration rares or artwork rares, which I think it's fair to say are similarly lovely. So let's start off with the one that everybody is usually most excited about, but I think actually it's fair to say for this crowd is going to be least excited about, and that is the Charizard. Now, first thing you're going to notice there is we've got an artwork rare and illustration rare of Charmander, and the second thing you're going to notice there is that largely we don't really care. Because we've had this. This is an artwork rare that for us has already been released. It appeared in the Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer box, and not only that, but we had two versions. We had the regular version, which came in every Elite Trainer box, and the stamped version, which only came in the Pokemon Center exclusive. It's extremely cool, no argument there, but for us, we've already got it, so we don't care so much. But there is a brand new Charizard EX, and to be clear, when I say brand new Charizard EX, I am referring to the artwork here. It's not actually a new Charizard EX like that, because, of course, we've got two Charizard EX, right? We've got the one that came around in Obsidian Flames, which is the really playable one, the one that won San Antonio Regionals, the one which is inarguably one of the very best decks in the format at the moment. And then we got the one from 151, which is not as good. It's not out and out terrible. Did, in the early days, actually get teched in a little bit into some of these other Charizard decks, but fair to say, far and away the weaker of the two. Yeah, this is that one. Now, the good news is, it is at least alternate artwork, but we do have to ask the question of how many people actually care. Because, sure, it's alternate artwork, but like in 151, we've got the regular art, which is pretty cool, and then we've got the full art, which is also pretty cool, and then we've got the illustration rare, which is, I think, the most expensive card you can actually pull from a pack of Pokemon at the moment in terms of the Scarlet and Violet sets. And it's very, very cool. But like I say, we've had free versions of this card already. It's not to say that it's not fun, but it is to say that we've already had free versions of this card. So, yeah. Now, this new version of it came in that deck over in Japan, and this is going to be a little bit of a theme. Because in Japan, you had that whole box, the one that I accidentally bought two of, but then found someone who wanted one and sold it to them at cost, and everybody wins. They got it cheaper than they could have got it elsewhere, and I got to undo my silly, silly mistake. But the point is, there is this box that released over in Japan that gave you all three of the first partner Pokemon with alternate arts, and also brought in some new illustration rares. More on those in a moment. So you get yourself the Charizard, you get yourself the Charmander. There is actually a Charmeleon here as well, but I think this is the part where we can stop getting excited. I mean, look, it's a mirror holo version of it, which is cool, but it's just an existing Charmeleon coming as a mirror holo. Which isn't to say it's not awesome, and I'm not sure if there's actually a way to get this holo of it, because obviously in Asian territories we had the Pokeball and Master Ball reverse holos, so this holo pattern, and by pattern it's just a mirror, but you know what I mean, this holo version of it might actually be exclusive, but it's not exactly exciting, I think is fair to say. But then we've got the other two. Now, for me, it's all about the Blastoise. I love the Blastoise. And what we're going to see here is a similar kind of thing going on, because we do have an alternate art Blastoise EX. It is a Blastoise EX from 151, and it is extremely cool. For what it's worth, I think it's better than the regular art in 151. But of course, let's not sleep on the fact that we had a full art in 151, and we had a special illustration rare in 151. So again, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but this isn't exactly a card where we were crying out for a new artwork of it, because we literally already had 3 arts. What I will say is we've now got a playset of different artworks. We've got the 2 quote-unquote regular, the full art, and the illustration rare. So if you wanted to play Blastoise, you could actually go for a full playset here of different artworks, which, not for nothing, it is kind of fun. I do enjoy that. Now, coming along with this is the artwork rare, the illustration rare Squirtle, and this is what I was talking about. In that box over in Japan, we had alternate arts of the EXs. We also had a trio of illustration rares of artwork rares, and this is where it gets very, very interesting, because we don't have this one. When it came to the Charmander, I could go, well, we've already had it, it's fine, we don't need it. Here we do. We absolutely do need this one. I should say all of these are from 151. They're literally just reprinting ones from 151. That's where we're going. And that's where this gets very, very interesting, because we'll have a chat in a minute. We don't have this one. I don't know where it's coming from. I would like to. We just don't have that information at the moment. And then we got just a mirror foil of the War Turtle from the set as well. I do want to point out that this Blastoise is actually really fun as a card. 330 HP, an ability that takes 30 less damage from attacks, and an attack for 2 energy that if you discard 2 basic water from your hand does 280, which will KO V-Stars and Stage 1 EXs and so on. This one sounds like fun. And then we've got Venusaur, who, as far as I'm concerned, is the least popular, least interesting of the first partner Pokemon from Gen 1. I'll let you decide where you come down. But once again, we've got exactly the same thing going on. We've got a quote-unquote alternate art of the regular Venusaur EX from 151. But 151 also brought in a full art and an illustration rare, which isn't to say we don't want this. It's just to say we've already had 3 different versions of the card. We do have a mirror foil of the Ivysaur from 151, which is fine. And then we've got a new artwork rare Bulbasaur, which is absolutely stunning, and I love it. We just don't have this one right now, and I don't know where it's coming. And that's the thing. We actually had illustration rares of the Bulbasaur and Squirtle in 151, and by the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle, I mean the same ones that are getting illustration rares here. Now we've got second versions of them. For what it's worth, I think the Bulbasaur is better. No, I actually prefer them both. I love the Mitsuhiro Arita Squirtle, but I do think both of these are actually better. So yeah, they are absolutely stunning. And we've had the Charmander, so what about the Bulbasaur and Squirtle? Where are we getting them? Well, like a lot of things, I've seen predictions here that we are going to be getting them in Paldea and Fates. And about the one thing I can tell you right now is that they are not coming in Paldea and Fates. I am absolutely certain, completely and utterly certain, that they are not coming in Paldea and Fates unless Pokemon lied to our faces. Because you see, when you get new sets like Paldea and Fates, there is a press release that comes along with it, and there's information on the website, and generally speaking, that tells you how many of each type of card you're getting. And we were told explicitly in the press release that there would be 3 illustration rares, and we know what those illustration rares are, because they were in Shiny Treasures EX over in Japan. We know that they are going to be Pawmi, Palafin, and Wugtrio. We know that those are going to be the artwork rares. We are 100% certain at this stage that those are the 3 artwork rares. For what it's worth, Palafin has actually already been officially revealed in English. just in case anybody was wondering, as has the poor me. So even if you thought I was wrong about this, and I'm not, but even if you thought I was, well, we're getting free artwork rares, free illustration rares. We've literally been shown 2 of them, so they cannot put Bulbasaur and Squirtle in there, not unless they lied to us, or they don't count these as artwork rares, and they blatantly are. The phrasing, by the way, is artwork rares in Japan, illustration rares over here, so they are the same thing if anybody's wondering, if anyone's getting confused by me changing the wording. The point is, they're not coming in Paldean Fates. So that leaves 2 options, and here we are at pure guesswork mode, really. They're either going to be taken aside and used as promos, not unlike how the Charmander ended up in an Elite Trainer box, or they're going to be popped in a set later on down the line. They're not going to be event promos or anything like that. Pokemon doesn't do that. Other card games do. Pokemon doesn't. So basically what we've got here is either they get whacked into a set, but not Paldean Fates, or they end up as promos in some product down the line. Obviously, if we look at what's happened, over in Japan, they had the box with all 3 of them. In Hong Kong and Taiwan, as I'm showing you here, we've got 3 blisters. And each one has a new artwork EX and a new artwork rare, illustration rare, and it's actually really cool. Also a couple of packs and a coin. I haven't spoken about them. You can see them on the screen. I've nothing worthwhile to say about them right now. That's not the point of this video. But where are we getting them? Because actually both Hong Kong and Taiwan and Japan have gone, we have a trio of alternate REXs. We have a trio of artwork rares. So Japan had 1 big box with all of them in, and Taiwan and Hong Kong split them into 3 blisters, both of which are awesome. We still need these alternate REXs and these 2 artwork rares, but not the 3rd. So that's where it gets really confusing. The Pokemon, I am actually thinking very strongly they will be popped into a set. This happens a lot with leftover EXs. We don't generally have many leftover artwork rares, so it's going to be very interesting to see where Pokemon comes down. Right, that's what you need to know, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's over to you guys. Are you excited about these? Do you love the artwork? How do you think they're coming out in English? Tell me anything you think and more. Let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Smash Cafe, who have been supporters of ours for a little while now and seem to be incredibly lovely. So shoutouts to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.